Tyrese, you guys were up 2-1 in every other round as well, and then games 4, game 5, you did not. There was no drop off. You guys kept your edge. Why are you making that look so easy when it is typically something that the human condition says you're going to let go of the rope a tiny bit when you get a lead in a series? You guys have not done that. Why is that?
I think it starts from Coach Carlisle, just keeping our attention on the main thing, taking it a day at a time and just focusing on what's in front of us. And then I think that just trickles down. I think our jobs, me, Pascal, Miles, James, as leaders is to, continue to share the same message that Coach has. And, there's nothing to get excited about right now. We're still a long way away, and you just got to take it a day at a time. So, we're excited to play another game in front of our home crowd and approach this game the same way we approached yesterday, and just control what we can. And I think the biggest thing is just playing hard. If we could do that, we could figure everything else out from there. So there's no need to get super giddy or excited by any means. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Jenny up front.
Hey, Tyrese, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. TJ, if he was not known to be an NBA player, he could probably walk into the Y and people would think, who's this guy? But he's impacting the NBA Finals. How has he been able to do that? And it's gotten to the point with both him and Caruso, when they don't have an impact, you think, what's going on here? But specific to TJ, how has he managed to have such an impact on things?
Yeah, he just does the little things so well. He always talks about it like he's in year 10, and the biggest thing for him that he knew he would have to do to stick would be just to play harder than people. I think that's his calling card, his MO, how hard he plays and the energy that he plays with. Obviously, he's a very skilled player as well, but I think he just does a great job of just playing harder than people, and that has really created such an unbelievable career for him, and he'll continue to do that. But I think our fans have really taken a liking and a loving him, and same way with Caruso and OKC. And for TJ, it was the same thing in Philly. Like, it's hard not to root for a guy like that, who just plays so hard. And like you said, he's an NBA player, but if he walks in anywhere, he can get away with it. People have no clue. He just plays so hard. And I think that's the biggest thing, is he just controls what he can. And I think that's the biggest example of it. Making missed shots, that is what it is, but he just plays so hard, and that makes up for things.
Jeff on the left.
Jeff Zilgate, USA Today. Rick just called playing and beating Oklahoma City a daunting task, and he seems to have the weight of the finals. He carries it on him. But I want to know from your perspective how much you're enjoying this. What are you enjoying about it? And, obviously you'd rather be here than not playing at all, but, how much of it is stressful compared to the regular season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with right now is this is like a really exciting time, and to play against these guys is an honor, and it's a lot of fun, because this is a 68-win team. This is historically one of the best defenses ever. This is a really good team. They have the MVP. They have a bunch of dudes who are going to be in this league for a long time, having a lot of success. So, I can't say enough good things about their team as a group. And I think the most fun part about basketball is, if you're going to win, you don't want to do it any other way than have to beat the best. And this team has been the best team in the NBA all year. They consistently respond, when their backs are against the wall. So it's a lot of fun. Like, as competitors, you want to compete against the best, and these guys are the best. And so I think that I'll say that to answer that part of the question. And then as far as stress, I think that should be heightened right now. You're playing in the NBA Finals. There should be a higher sense of urgency, a higher level of stress. Your spit should taste different. All those things, right? This is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. And after games, I'm struggling to sleep. Good games and bad games. I'm watching a ton of film. I'm doing us as a group. We're texting in the group chat more about basketball related things more than we probably ever have. This is a lot of fun, and you don't want to take these moments for granted. And we got a few people in our organization who have won a championship or played in the NBA Finals, and that's all that we consistently hear about is don't take this moment for granted. Enjoy this moment, and you want to be able to, put all your cards on the table, play as hard as you can. You don't want to have any regrets at the end of it. So, that's the biggest thing we talk about as a group, and, that's how it should be.
Barry, second row in the center.
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Even when Shea's had some success in this series, he seems to be frustrated on some level. What's Andrew doing to keep Shea sort of off his game, even if it's emotional?
Well, I think Andrew's doing a great job of, staying in front, being physical, just making it hard on him. Just trying to give him different looks. I mean, listen, he's the MVP. He's the best scorer in the NBA. Feels like when he wakes up, he has 30. That's what it is. But I think Drew's doing a great job of making it as difficult as he can, being physical, just being a pesty defender. And that's his calling card in this league and what he does at such a high level. And those guys haven't played together all summer. They've known each other like their whole lives. I'm sure they know things about each other that many people don't know. So I think that's to both of their benefits as well. But I think to see such an elite offensive talent compete against such an elite defensive talent has been a treat to watch for me on the floor. So I know as basketball fans, people have to enjoy that matchup as well. So with a guy like Shea, you can never give him the same look. And Drew does a great job of mixing things up. We're just trying to make life hard on him as best we can.
Tanya, fourth row.
Tyrese, Tanya Ganguly, New York Times. You mentioned a few people in your organization who have won championships. I'm wondering have they been talking about those finals experiences or even bringing their rings to show you guys or anything like that?
I haven't seen any rings. I have not. Coach consistently, I think he always haven't been in the league so long. I hear a lot of stories from him. Not just from that 2011 run, but the unsuccessful runs and just stories of him with, Dirk and certain guys. And I think, we've been talking a lot about, that 2011 championship run and how that series went and how they had to respond in many different ways. I was 11 years old, but I remember hating Coach Carlisle and those guys at that time. But I think even with Pascal, I think he's probably grown to learn that he might be a little annoyed by me at this point with all the questions that I ask from those finals runs. And it's been like that since he's gotten here, honestly. I just consistently ask questions because I wasn't in the league at the time and I was a huge basketball fan, so I want to know about the adjustments and certain things and the conversations in those locker rooms. So we consistently talk about those things, yeah, for sure. And just try to get knowledge from all the basketball minds that were around. I think everybody can agree on that, not just in our locker room, but the external forces as well, like Reggie consistently talking with us and just other guys that I've had conversations with, sharing their experiences has been really beneficial for me. And like I said, just keep saying, I don't want to take this time for granted. I want to live in the moment and, put all my cards on the table and have no regrets at the end of this.